Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Headbanger's Closet. Appreciate everybody checking out the channel. For this video, it's going to be my best of, my favorites of 2023. We're going to talk about my favorite albums of 2023. Yeah, I know it's 2024. I'm a little bit late, but I wanted to make a good video for this video, just like I've done the last couple of years. But the last few years, I was able to get it in that year. But hey, man, as I get older, my kid gets older, life stuff kind of gets in the way. And I got to find the time when I can to get to, prepare for the video. And so I'm a little bit late, but hopefully you guys will check it out and tell me what you think about these albums I'm going to talk about, because I absolutely love them. So I made a list of my favorite 16 records that I actually have in physical format to show you guys. But I've got another pretty good list of honorable mentions. And I'm going to just say right off the bat, the reason why I'm calling them honorable mentions, it has nothing to do with the fact that I like them any less than the albums I'm going to show you. It's just for one reason or another, I don't have anything as a physical format, whether it be cassette tape, CD, vinyl, or not anything to show on the channel. I mean, I got to show you something. I can't just talk for the whole freaking thing, right? I got to show you guys records. So that's the kind of the criteria. They're honorable mentions. If I don't have it, the ones I have, I made a list top to bottom of my favorite 16, and we'll go through them, and hopefully you guys dig it. So first things first, I'm going to do, it's not really an honorable mention. I'll just tell you. So Celestial Wizard, the album is called Winds of the Cosmos. Celestial Wizard is a band from Denver, Colorado. If you don't know them, do check them out. They're awesome. I call them traditional heavy metal, but when you listen to this record, it runs the gamut of like the best subgenres of metal. You got traditional heavy metal, you've got thrash metal, you've got death metal, you've got black metal, you got power metal. It's just all that stuff all wrapped into one record. I mean, the vocals are great, the guitars are absolutely phenomenal. Two guitar players, the riffs are great, awesome solos. They break down in these really cool guitar harmonies all throughout the record. It's an absolutely phenomenal album. Follow them on Instagram. They posted a lot of cool stuff on there. They haven't really posted in a while because I think they did a tour, I want to say like spring into early summer, and they kind of came off the road, and I guess maybe they'll work on a new album. I don't know. But the reason why I'm showing this now is, so I did a video on this album. It was a review maybe early on in 2023. Now, this thing was released in 2022, and I listened to it on YouTube and on Spotify a bunch, but they didn't have anything for me to buy other than a couple of t-shirts. And all of a sudden, they took everything off Spotify. Then they announced maybe like a week later on their Instagram channel or whatever, Instagram account, that they had signed a record deal and they were going to put out the album in physical format and vinyl at a later date, of course. And then they gave the link of the pre-order. I pre-ordered it, and there was two different versions. Of course, I'm going to pick the colored vinyl. And so I picked the purple one, which goes really, really cool with the album cover. And it came, I guess, maybe like midway through January. So I did a review of it in January, but I really didn't want to include it in the 2022 because I didn't have anything to show when I was talking about my best of 2022. But it would have been up there, top one or two of that year. And I don't want to put this in my 2023 either, but that's why I'm showing it now. This thing's probably in the top 3 albums this year. So I just want to show you guys that Celestial Wizard, Winds of the Cosmos. Check it out. It's an awesome record. I promise you're not going to be disappointed. So let's get to the honorable mentions. And for these, one reason or another, whether I missed the pre-sale, which a lot of that happened this year. Like the band would announce on Instagram or Facebook or whatnot, hey, we're doing a limited run of vinyl, 500, 100, 200, and I just didn't get to it in time. Like I said earlier, life stuff happens. Sometimes I'm looking at Instagram while I'm sitting in the parking lot of my kid's school waiting to pick her up. By the time I get back home, I forget about it because I get dinner ready and all that stuff. So either that happened or the band just didn't have anything for me to buy. So let's get right to it. Good buddy Mark on another channel I watch, Metal Never Dies. So a lot of his best of 2023 was the year of death metal. For me, it's the year of thrash metal. So many thrash bands on this, and a lot of them have two things in common. They have this really great new school sound, but they've all got that early 80s, mid 80s thrash sounding influence. Just really great stuff. So we'll go get right to it. Ex Mortis, Necrophony, awesome band. Their last album, Necrophonia, is amazing. They did a limited run on vinyl. I wasn't able to grab it. I looked at a bunch of different websites that were advertising it. All sold out. Wasn't able to get to it. Awesome band. They're like a death thrash band. A nice mix of the two. And they're from California somewhere, I guess LA. And the two guitar players, if I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere that they were kind of classically trained in music. So when you listen to the songs, you can really hear that kind of, for lack of a better term, just like Joe Satriani kind of style. Just awesome, heavy, fast, thrash, death guitars, and just with that thrash, death vocals as well. Awesome album. So next one is Cannibal Corpse, their latest record, Chaos Horrific. I've been a long time Cannibal Corpse fan, but I like a lot of like songs off different records. There's not too many albums I listen to front to back. This one's different. The whole album is phenomenal. I just love the way the guitars sound. I love the vocals. I love everything about it. Actually have this album coming to me from Metal Blade Records, but I just didn't want to wait that long to do the video. I mean, come on. How long can I wait to do a best of? How long can I wait into 2024 to do a best of 2023 video? So moving right along, we got a band called Inculter, album called Morbid Origin. These guys are from, I want to say like Denmark or Norway or something like that. Awesome thrash metal band, really great sounding. Like it sounds a lot like mid 80s thrash. That's what it sounds like. Phenomenal band. Check them out. Then the next one we got is another awesome thrash metal. Again, that 80s influence with kind of a new school vibe to it as well. These guys are called Electrocutioner. They're from New York City. Album is called False Idols. Great band, probably one of my favorite bands and favorite albums of the year. When you get all these honorable mentions and what I got to show you guys in a minute all together, one of my favorite ones of the year. And if you live in the New York City area, they're doing a lot of shows this winter. January, February, March, all like kind of in that area. Maybe going into like New Jersey or something like that. But don't have anything on physical format for me to buy. They do have a couple of cool t-shirts on their Bandcamp page. The one I want sold out, which is the story of the freaking year. But awesome band, Electrocutioner. Check them out. And you can find all these bands on Instagram. Check them out. Go buy their shit with the links that they put out. Next band is a band from I believe Ukraine. Could be wrong, but they're called Transtormed. Album's called Into the Void. And I can't remember the name of the record company. It's like Redefining Darkness. One of those European labels. Does have a couple of variants on vinyl out. I wasn't able to grab one when it came out. I missed the first press. Hopefully there'll be another one soon. I'll be able to jump on that. But Transtormed, really cool thrash metal band. Into the Void. Check them out. Next two are going to be bands from like South America area, and it's Omission. Album is called Disciples of Raven's Vengeance, and this is more like blackened speed, blackened thrash. Really cool band. Check them out. They've got album in physical format as well, but the shipping was like $45, and I wasn't wanting to do that just yet. Maybe if I get a windfall of some cash, maybe I'll splurge, but you're talking like 65 American dollars. I was like, yeah, I'll wait a little bit, see if maybe something jumps up on a second press. But awesome album nonetheless. Next one is another band from South America. They're called Phantom. These guys are phenomenal, just straight up speed metal. And the album's called Handed to Execution. They've got an album coming out on vinyl, just not out yet. I forgot the name of the record company, but the band Nemesis, which I'm going to get to in a minute, same record company. If you go to that website, you'll be able to get both of them, I think, in a few months when they do a second pressing of Nemesis and then the Phantom album. So next one we got is a band from Portland, Oregon. They're called Soul Grinder. It's a 3-piece thrash metal band, female fronted. The album is called Filth Encrusted. These guys are really, really good. Their last album before Filth Encrusted was really, really good as well. Just, really cool kind of thrash metal, kind of in the vein of Toxic Holocaust. If you dig Toxic Holocaust, you're going to dig these guys. Check them out. Really cool. So then, next one is a band from Lafayette, Louisiana. They're called Void. The album's called Horrors of Reality. Awesome thrash metal band. These dudes eat, sleep, and breathe 80s thrash metal. I love it. They sound like really cool 80s thrash metal band with maybe a new school vocals. And they've been touring all over the Southeast this past year, and I have missed them every freaking time they come anywhere near me, but they're awesome. Void, Horrors of Reality. And another band just like Void. They're called Nemesis, just mentioned a minute ago. Their album is called False Reality. They're from Houston. Another badass thrash metal band with, you know, early 80s thrash influences. And they, you know, get kind of that new school vibe. Again, they've been touring all around the Southeast, but I've been missing them every time. Awesome record. Check it out. Their album is out on red vinyl, but it was sold out. So just like Phantom, the same website, when they do the second press, I'll probably jump on it. So next band is kind of like a speed punk metal band. They're called Wild Times. Wild is spelled W-Y-L-D. Album is called Nefarious Instinct. Really cool title. Just awesome, cool punk sounding, kind of like speed metal, if you will. Really cool stuff. Really dig it. Check it out. Then we got out a band called Tyrannex. They're from, I think, Holland. Female-fronted thrash metal band. Just like a lot of these other thrash metal bands, they sound like they came from the 80s. And you really can't go wrong with that. The album's called Reasons for the Slaughter. Really cool. They've got a lot of t-shirts. I think they got cassette tapes and CDs. Nothing on vinyl. And I'll be honest, I don't want to buy a cassette tape. I've got nothing to play it on. Same thing as a CD. I've got nothing to play it on. So I have my turntable behind me. And that's pretty much all I'm buying in physical format. It's just vinyl. So if they don't have that, I'm not going to buy it until they do. But definitely check it out. Tyrannus Reasons for the Slaughter. The next one is my #1 favorite thrash metal album of 2023. The band is called Crippling Madness. They're from Poland. And the album title as well as the songs are in Polish. Not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but just type in Crippling Madness. They're on Spotify. Type it in, and also on Instagram as well. Type it in. You're going to love it. It's awesome. If you dig Sepultura, early Sepultura, we're talking Morbid Visions, Bestial Devitation, Schizophrenia, Beneath the Remains, and Arise. The best 5 Sepultura records. If you dig those records, you will dig Crippling Madness. You hear me, Joe Bradish? Check these guys out. Crippling Madness. I'll say it again, dude. Check it out. They're awesome. Favorite thrash metal album of the year. Their Instagram page has like 8 photos. And I think they might have a t-shirt for sale. Nothing on vinyl, nothing on CD, cassette, anything like that. But when they do, I'm buying the hell out of that. I don't care how much the shipping is from Europe. I'm buying it. So next one we've got is Inhuman Condition. Awesome Florida death metal band. They put out an EP this year called Panic Prayer. And I missed it. Didn't jump on the pre-sale fast enough, missed the first pressing, and I just got their debut record, Rat God. I put it on one of my like just in videos a few weeks ago. Check it out. That was like the 3rd pressing, and I keep missing them. They don't do very many of them, so if I don't jump on Bandcamp fast enough, I miss it. But Inhuman Condition, Panic Prayer, just awesome Floridian death metal. They've got a cool cover of the song Godzilla. You just take my word for it, listen to it, it's awesome. Next one we got is Ulamog. They are a thrash metal band from Virginia, in the vein of like Enforce. If you dig Enforce, you're going to dig these guys. Awesome thrash metal album. It's called The Hungriest of the Old Ones. Really cool stuff. And another one of those bands that really doesn't have a ton for me to buy, especially on vinyl right now. Hopefully that changes very soon. Next band is called Schizophrenia. They put out a covers EP called Chants from the Abyss. These guys are a death metal band from somewhere in Europe, I believe. And this is all some of their favorite tunes, like I guess growing up in death metal sounding. So there's a lot of thrash metal in there, but it's them playing their form of death metal on these cover tunes. Really, really cool stuff. And then we have got Devastator, Baptized in Blasphemy. Wicked cool speed metal band from the UK. If you dig bands like Wraith, Fueled by Fire, Toxic Holocaust, Bewitcher, bands like that, you're really going to dig these guys. Check them out. And then I already talked about Celestial Wizard. I'm going to say the last one should be on the list of records I'm going to show you guys, but I bought it from Redefining Darkness. The album came out in April of 2023. I pre-ordered in April of 2023. There was a huge problem with at the pressing plant, and now Redefining Darkness, within like the last week or so, put on their Instagram they finally got in. So they're finally starting to ship. I have no idea when I'm going to get mine. But Raiders, Trial by Chaos, they're a death thrash band from Canada. Probably in the top 2 to 3, just with Celestial Wizard, in my top 2023 most favorite records. I listened to the hell out of this thing, but just don't have it in physical format to show you guys. When it does come in, I'll be doing a full review of the record. So all these bands, You can find them on Instagram and Spotify. So if you want to check them out, go find them on Instagram first, then listen to them on Spotify or the other way around, whatever you want. And I do these videos on my phone, so I'm not good at like the description. Sometimes I go long and it won't let me upload it, so I got to shorten it. So I'll try to do a list of these bands, all these bands right here, but I'll also put it on my Instagram page, Headbangers Closet. I'll put a photo of it so you guys can check it out and kind of go through the bands and see which one you guys like. I'd be really interested in hearing which one of these bands you guys really dig. So, all right, so that was the honorable mentions. For whatever reason, like I discussed, I don't have the physical format, so let's get right to it. 16 to 1 best albums of 2023. The first one is doom metal band Smolder. The album is called Violent Creed of Vengeance. This came out April 21st, 2023. These guys are from Canada, but the lead singer, which female-fronted lead singer, and one of the guys in the band got married. They moved to Finland. They did a lot of summer touring at all those metal festivals throughout Europe. So they're from Canada / Finland. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what you get. You get the picture of the band, the lyrics all in here on the sleeve. Really, really cool. And then the album is on kind of like gold, tan. I forgot what they called this one. They weren't calling by the colors. They were calling. There was a yellow one called Beer. I forget what one of them was called. Piss. I forget what this one was called. But it's kind of like a cool tan color. Really good doom metal. It's their last record was absolutely phenomenal, and I really thought it was like a lot of like what I love about Black Sabbath with like a new school doom sound. Really, really great stuff. They also gave you a poster of the album cover, which is really cool. Awesome artwork on this album and the last one. And then they put on their Instagram page that, like a homage to the artist who did it, this one and the last record. And he has a lot of like Dungeons & Dragons kind of books. He did the cover for the artwork and cover for those. So that was kind of cool. And before I go to the next one, just kind of fun fact about Smolder. How I discovered them was I was watching YouTube one day, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole of reviews. It was Banger TV, and she was doing reviews of a bunch of different things she got on Bandcamp from Eternal Champion, and I'm a big Eternal Champion fan, so I started watching it. And in the comments, she would respond to people in the comments, and somebody was like, "Oh, I can't wait for the new record," and she like dropped a link, and I was like, "All right, I'll check it out." It was Smolder. Checked out the last album. Thing was awesome. I got it on the shelf over there. Their first album. Never done a review of it, but really great record. But anyway, check out the new albums from Smolder. Violent Creed of Vengeance. Really cool stuff. Next one is a death metal band from Brazil called Crypta, all-female band. Crypta album is called Shades of Sorrow. Came out August 4th. And I'm kind of a new Crypta fan just this year, really. I discovered their last album and was able to see them in Atlanta at the Masquerade. I believe it was like, April or May. They were the opening act, and I just went to see them. Phenomenal death metal band. Really, really good. And this album was no different. I pre-ordered this. It was on the Fire Splatter. Really, really sharp looking right here. And it came in, and what I like to do with a lot of records, I just hear like the single or two, but when they actually come in, I try to give the ultimate test if the album is good. If it can keep my attention while I cut grass, then I know the album's going to be awesome. And this one, it comes with the pre-order, it was a gatefold. So there's it right there. There's a picture of the band. And you get a pretty cool slip mat of the album cover right there. So that's kind of cool. So, awesome, man. Like I said, all-female band. They've had some lineup changes throughout the last couple of years. But this lineup they've got now has kind of been lasting a while. And when I saw them in Atlanta, it was after, they were in a tornado. Like they were playing a show in Chicago. There's a tornado. It was after they were done with their set, but it collapsed the roof and killed somebody that went to the show and ruined their, RV, when it was staying in. So what I didn't know, and I'm kind of curious as to what the situation is in the policy, but they mentioned on Instagram that they're not from America, so they don't get American vehicle insurance like we do. So when their RV was destroyed in the tornado, they had to buy the whole thing outright. So they put a GoFundMe page, put on Bandcamp, all their stuff, their Instagram page, like, hey, can you help us out by buying merch? So when I saw them at the end of the tour, which I think was the second to last show on the tour, they had no merch at all. Everybody the week before at every show had bought everything. But I'm glad I got the record. Crypta's Shades of Sorrow, awesome death metal album, and they are coming back to Atlanta, I believe, this February. Coming I think it's not Boggs. Maybe it's Boggs. You see Boggs, one of those other small clubs, but I'm going to see that with my good buddy Mark. He and I both love Crypta, so I'm going to see that. The next album is another female-fronted band called Bloodstar. The album is called First Sighting. These guys are just traditional, American heavy metal. Just really, really good sounding stuff. For this one, you get a really cool glossy laminated sleeve with the lyrics and a picture of the band. It's really, really cool stuff. Their last EP was really good, and I got into them then. And I was able to pick up this on this pinwheel vinyl right here, really sharp looking. It's good stuff. If you dig, just American traditional heavy metal, you're going to dig these guys. Really, really great stuff. Excuse me. And this album came out, let's see, I got my list up there in front of me. This album came out in April 21st. April was a really, really good month. A lot of these albums I'm going to show you guys came out in April. All right, moving right along. This is already going 21 minutes, so I'll try to move it a little bit quicker. Next band is called Endseeker. The album's called Global Warming. This thing came out October 27th. Really, really cool death metal, kind of like punkish death metal, if you will. Really, really cool stuff. Got it on Metal Blade Records. It's a gatefold. Metal Blade has been a lot of gatefolds lately. Picture of the guys in the band. Really cool artwork. And this is on green and black, marbled swirl, maybe. Really, really cool stuff. If you dig death metal, you're going to like these guys. Excuse me. It's not like traditional death metal. It's more like death metal kind of meets punk. But really, really good stuff nonetheless. I think they're from Sweden. Could be wrong there. This thing came out, like I said, on October 27th. Picked it up in Metal Blade Records. This was an album I actually got for Christmas. So this was one of the ones that was kind of taking me a while to show, to get in before I could do the video to show you guys. Next one is another Metal Blade Records masterpiece. This is Cirith Ungol, the latest album called The Dark Parade. This thing came out October 20th. And I've always loved Cirith Ungol's artwork. Wasn't always excuse me, wasn't always like the biggest fan. I kind of didn't get it till a little bit later on, but I love everything they've ever put out now. Like, I've heard of them, I heard their songs, it just wasn't clicking for me until about 4 or 5 years ago, but this album was awesome. It's American traditional heavy metal stuff. Love the artwork. Another Metal Blade gatefold. And then they're going on tour. This is like their last tour ever. No dates announced from where I live yet, but hopefully it will be soon. Here's the sleeve. And this is on, I think there was a couple of different versions. This is on kind of gray marbled. I forgot what they called it. Black and gray marble. So really, really sharp looking. Awesome record. I mean, Cirith Ungol doesn't disappoint. Everything they put out is quality. It's just kind of they're kind of like Slayer in my opinion. They do one thing and they do it really, really well. And you just kind of, once you're into them, pretty much everything they do, you're going to fall in love with. All right, next one here is Cruel Forces Dawn of the Axe. This came out September 22nd. Another album that I heard 2 singles off and really liked, but I gave it the grass cutting test, and it passed with flying colors. It's just speed metal band. These guys from Europe. Awesome stuff right here. I did a video on this, kind of like a review, where I kind of showed everything. So I'm just going to show the videos on bone-colored white vinyl. Really sharp looking if you want to see everything else in it. And hear my thoughts on the album. Go check out that review. I posted it, I think, back like October or something like that. And that's when this thing came out. Oh, this came out at the end of September, September 22nd. Cruel Force, Dawn of the Axe. Awesome speed metal. Next band is a new band. I've kind of heard of them, but never actually gave them a listen until probably this thing was coming out. They're called Angelus Arpretida. This came out October 23rd, 2023. kind of similar to the Smolder. It's kind of like that nice tan color. Really cool stuff. Just good new school sounding thrash metal. They have a lot of songs on it that feature prominent vocalists of other bands, namely Jamie Jost of Hatebreed. Really, really cool stuff. You just dig thrash metal. That's kind of got of like a, I guess, kind of like clean, clear, choruses, if you will, kind of something you could hear. You could picture here on the radio. It's kind of got that Trivium style chorus where you kind of melodic sing along to, which is really great thrash music. The rest of the song, so check it out. The album is called Aftermath, and I listened to that a lot. This, once it came out, come out in October, I probably listened to it. All of November, December. Is a really, really good album, good band. That as soon as I heard it, I liked it. I just kind of binged listening to it for a while. So the next band is called Sentenced to Die. These guys are from Minnesota. Not really sure what city, but they're from Minnesota. The album is called Parasitic Infection. It came out October 20th. And another album I've been binge listening to ever since it came out. Awesome record. Just if you like really hard and heavy, crunchy death metal, you're going to love these guys. And this is kind of like that clear yellow vinyl. Awesome, awesome record. And I think I've mentioned before, I love death metal, but when it comes to death metal, I'm kind of particular about what I like and what I don't like. And one thing I love about Sentenced to Die is just the heaviness of the guitar riffs, just chugging. They get fast, they kind of get a little thrashy, but for the most part, it's a little bit slower, just super duper heavy. Just kind of get you the slow headbang and just like, yes, metal. So it's awesome. Check it out. So the next record is Haunt's kind of greatest hits. This is called Chariot Best of Volume 1. I've talked about Haunt a ton on this channel. Absolutely love Haunt, love Trevor, love everything he puts out. And this is just, kind of a best of compilation. Gatefold. Really cool stuff right here. So let's kind of show you the records. Pretty sharp looking. If you dig Haunt, I've got everything they've done, but I just, I thought it was really cool that he put out a greatest, he kind of hated best of, greatest hits kind of collection. So really cool stuff from him. And, he put out, I think, 2 albums in 2023, which were, 2022 rather, which were on my best of 22 list. So everything Trevor puts out, I'm going to buy. It's just top-notch traditional heavy metal. The next album is more death thrash, kind of what's been going on a lot this year. The album is called, the band's called The Bleeding. The album is called Monocrator. I gotta look at it before I say it right. Awesome, just super heavy, death thrash, just like Raider, and crazy heaviness. Really great vocals, fast, kind of screeching, thrash metal vocals with death metal thrash music a little bit into it. Awesome stuff. These guys, I believe, are from England. Could be wrong, but I think they're from England. Awesome, awesome stuff. The Bleeding, check it out. And I've seen a lot of reviews of this record the last few months, and it does not disappoint. I highly recommend everybody checking the thing out. Next one is going to be Spirit Adrift. This album is called Ghost at the Gallows. Awesome record. Big fan of Spirit Adrift. Their last full length was absolutely phenomenal. Flawless in my opinion. So when I first heard, the few songs off the last EP, excuse me, and then heard this one, I was like, it's not as good. It's a little bit different. But the more I listened to this one, the more it grew on me. These guys are from Texas. These guys are like very, really Black Sabbath-y, modern Black Sabbath, if you will. Really great riffs. It's called like doom metal, but I think it's more in the vein of traditional heavy metal with some doom metal kind of, stuff going on there. But awesome booklet. Just all the lyrics to the tunes. Cool artwork in there. And then the album is on clear, kind of like grayish right there. Pretty sharp looking. But this is a great record. If you dug their last one, you dug the EP, You're going to dig this. Like I said, when I first heard the few singles, I wasn't disappointed. I just didn't think it was good as the stuff on the last record. But the more I listened to it, the more I was like, oh yeah, dude, this thing's awesome. It grooves really, really good. You just kind of find yourself headbanging along, singing along. Awesome stuff. Spirit Adrift, Ghost at the Gallows. And this thing came out on August 18th. Next one we have is a little single. It's Fugitive, Blast Furnace, and Standoff. This came out in July of 2023. I picked this up on Blast Beats, 20 bucks spin with their last record, and this is just on red right here, just kind of nice red, kind of translucent red. Pretty cool single, awesome stuff. If you don't know who Fugitive is, it's the guitarist and drummer, I think, from Power Trip, or the guitarist from Power Trip, drummer from Creeping Death, and I'm not really sure where the bassist or singer are, but like basically they were like talking about this for a while as being the new Power Trip. Now we know that's not exactly the case, but these guys are awesome. If you dig Power Trip, that new school thrash crossover sound, you're gonna dig Fugitive. Check it out. You can find them on Instagram and Spotify. Awesome stuff. Blast Furnace and Standoff. Great stuff. The next record is a record I talked about not too long ago on this channel. Did a nice review. It's Tail Gunner from the UK. The album is called Guns for Hire. This thing came out July 14th, and awesome new school traditional heavy metal. Go check out the video. Go click on the channels. The video go down a little bit. Tail Gunner. I did like the review of it. Awesome, awesome stuff on blue vinyl. If you dig Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, and you want to hear something similar, but with like a modern kind of take on it, check out these guys. Absolutely phenomenal band. They are on tour right now, going all through the UK. Great band. Getting down to the last couple. This next one is Hell Ripper, Warlocks, Grim, and Withered Hags. Absolutely badass album. This thing came out February 17th. Blackened speed metal at its finest. It's a one-man show, and this dude does not disappoint. Absolutely love this band. Everything he's ever done has been great, in my opinion. There he is right there. The lyrics on the sleeve, and this is on Forest Green. It's a shitty kind of video when I put like that. But anyway, Forest Green vinyl, really, really great stuff. Awesome record. Did a review of the last one, but not this one. Really wish I had kind of got on that, but if you know who Hell Ripper is and you dig them, you're going to love this album if you don't already have it. All right, next one we got is Overkill's latest. Is there more a consistent band in thrash metal than Overkill? I think not. It's called Scorched. Came out April 14th, the same day as Metallica's 72 Seasons, which, whatever. I think it's a little unfortunate, but whatever. It's an amazing album. It's in my top 5 for a reason. It's a 2 LP set. Now, they've got a really cool one that was Splatter, and I couldn't find it. I picked up the one on kind of like the gold, brown. It's an indie store exclusive, and I actually thought the indie store exclusive was the Splatter. So I went to the record store and picked it up, kind of much to my disappointment. It's just brown, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's a freaking phenomenal record. Was able to see Overkill for the very first time in Atlanta when they came and supported this album, and they didn't disappoint. Absolutely blew me away. Was really shocked that they played at such a small club. I would have figured they'd play somewhere bigger, but I'm really hoping to get more Overkill in Atlanta in 2024. Absolutely love this record. And I did when this thing came out, I listened to it a lot, and I started listening to some of the older Overkill albums, and I'll put this thing up with anything, from the first 5 or 6 records. I mean, I had a period in the 90s and early 2000s where I thought, they were consistently good, but they weren't great. This thing I think is great. Absolutely love the record. Next one we have is Metallica's 72 Seasons. Came out April 14th. Absolutely love this album. Can't get enough of the record. The gatefold. There's like a freaking million versions of this thing, and I bought them all. And this one is all right, cool. It's the black and red splatter. It's the Montreal exclusive from when they played the concert weekend in Montreal this past August that I went to. Was able to go to the pop-up store and check it out. Don't dig the album cover. Dig the yellow and black. It really kind of stands out, but don't really dig the album cover. I think the design's kind of dumb, and it'd be way better if Metallica was written across that, but whatever. Awesome record. I think it's the best thing they've done probably since Load, which I loved. But I think it's a great record. It's a kind of polarizing album. You either love Metallica, you don't. There's not a whole lot of in the middle. But I was surprised when this thing came out. I was hearing a lot of love for the record. And, you know, Metallica's that band that it's just cool to hate on them. And I was really surprised that I didn't hear any more hate than I did for this record. In fact, there was a lot of love for it. I absolutely love it. Kind of most years it'd be my #1 album, but there were 2 albums that came that have to come before it just because they were absolutely phenomenal. This is the latest from Enforce. It's called War Remains. Came out April 28th, and when it was coming out for the pre-order, they had a gnarly looking blue one and a white one that I tried to buy from Europe, and I couldn't get the damn website to take my freaking credit card. So I bought the American version, which is on really cool, nice red. Usually when you do get a red record, it's like kind of translucent. This thing is like solid blood red. Awesome record. The whole thing kicks ass. If you dug their last one, Kill Grid, you're going to dig this one. More of the same, just crushing riffs. Amazing album. They've come to Atlanta now twice since this thing came out, and I've missed them, unfortunately, both times. I'm really hoping 2024, there's at least one more trip to Atlanta in these guys' future. I saw them in Atlanta in 2023, walked into the venue, went right to the merch booth to buy merch, and the guitar player was running it, and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I can't sell anything right now. I got to go. We're about to jump on stage. Come on back afterwards. I was like, cool. They performed, loved it, got a bunch of photos, went back after the show. The singer and guitar player for Enforce were there. I was able to get my shirt. I was able to get a patch, and then they signed the set list for me, which is really cool. But Enforce, War Remains, absolutely phenomenal record. And the #1 album for this year, what I have to show you on my best 16 albums, is Frozen Souls, Glacial Domination. Absolutely amazing record. Came out May 19th, and no album in 2023 has made me bang my head more than this thing. Absolutely phenomenal record. And kind of like Enforced, I have missed them every time they've come to Atlanta. I was out of town seeing Metallica in St. Louis when they came to Atlanta, and now it looks like I'm going to be shit out of luck because they're going to Europe, I think. But this is on that like blood red translucent swirl, but absolutely phenomenal death metal record. Love it. Not a ton of death metal on my list. Most of it was thrash, but the death metal albums that came out, you know, are high up there, like Sentence to Die, and then of course this one. And there was a lot of death thrash as well, but it's just pure, in terms of pure death metal, nothing was better than Frozen Soul. Absolutely loved the record, and the last record was good, but I wasn't a huge fan of the guitars on the last record, and they must have heard that and took it personally, because this thing, the guitars on this are absolutely phenomenal. They're heavy, they're fast, they're melodic. The riffs are so great. All of them stay in your head forever. They get your head banging. It's absolutely phenomenal record. Can't get enough of it. Absolutely love it. So anyway, that's my list. It's a really long video. Hope you guys at least stayed checking it out and finished it up. So let me know what you guys think about any of those records. And I will, like I said, I'll post the full list and the honorable mentions on my Instagram as soon as possible. Give me a few days to get that done, but I'll get it up there. Check out all those bands. Let me know which ones you like. And I appreciate everybody checking out the channel. And thank you very much to all the new subscribers I've been seeing. And my notifications have been a lot of them cropping up the last couple weeks. Really appreciate you guys checking out my channel and checking out my collection. And I'll have another video for you guys very soon. Cheers, everybody.